The Boxing Day test is just a couple of days away. The fiery exchanges between the two camps, India and Australia, have extended to all possible quarters, from players to coaches to the media personnel as well. But come the Melbourne test, all eyes will be on India's star performer and captain in that first test, a win for India, Jasprit Bumrah. He's quite frankly been the only consistent thorn in Australia's flesh. He's been lethal, clinical, and has stood up and delivered throughout this series. Bumrah has been the only Indian bowler who's looked most dangerous there, who has successfully managed to make Aussie batters hop, skip and jump. He's taken 21 wickets in the series so far, broken the record of most 5-wicket hauls by an Indian pacer outside Asia, and has been a prime reason why India is still in the hunt for a series win against Australia here. The absence of Mahmood Shami, now that he has been ruled out of the entire series against Australia, has meant that Bumrah has had to shoulder the entire responsibility of leading the bowling attack, which will continue in the remainder of the series. So trust the Aussie media then to take a jibe at India's best performer. This doesn't surprise me anymore now. The latest attack is on Jasprit Bumrah. Aussie cricketer, Aussie commentator Ian Maurice yesterday questioned Bumrah's action.
Why has no one questioned the delivery of India paceman Bumrah? Is it not politically correct these days? I'm not saying he's throwing, but at least the position of the arm at the point of delivery should be analyzed.
Let's decode what Maurice says there. First of all, the commentator seems to have been in slumber for years. Bumrah is no newbie. He's bowled on the international stage for years now, and his action is as legal as it can be. Anyone who knows the sport and its rules would say that without even giving it a second glance. The reason Bumrah is arguably the best bowler in the world today is not because he has a suspect action. It's just because he's got a solid, sharp cricket brain.
He is the best bowler in world cricket in all the formats. He picked up the batter's weakness very quickly and he hardly bowled a short ball. And he realized that he would be expecting a short pitch delivery. He pitched up everything, swung the ball both ways and got 4 wickets. That's what you call the leader leading from the front.
The Australian broadcaster Maurice here needs to be reminded that the reason Bumrah is unplayable is not because of an action that needs to be analysed. He's simply unplayable because Australian batters have failed to come up with the goods against this bowler, who has outplayed and outwitted them in their own backyard with his sheer skills, his shrewd cricketing acumen and his guile.
The easiest way of handling Bumrah is to not say anything. He knows what he's doing and how he operates. He doesn't try to complicate things and keeps it nice and simple. There's not much discussion that we need to have with him. I know how he thinks, what he's trying to do. Whether he gets wickets or not, he's very clear in his mind.
Australian batters, at least most of them, have been unable to do anything against Bumrah. So it's not just the bowler's smarts, but Australia's lack of adaptability as well. Sure, the action makes it a little more difficult to read. It's slightly deceptive, but that's on you, Australia. The other term Maurice uses in that comment that he made was political correctness. He says, are we not questioning the action because of fear of political correctness? What my learned counterpart is trying to say, without being straightforward, is that the only reason no one has scrutinized Bumrah's suspect bowling action so far is because of the undertones that it carries, that it may be deemed as racist in nature. It's just incredible the length some of the voices in the Australian media would go to incite and instigate, to play mind games just when a big test is upon both these sides. Maurice probably only needs to listen more, and maybe to some of the voices in his own country who've raved about Bumrah and his impeccable talent.
Please stop this nonsense of questioning Bumrah's action. It is unique, but it is unequivocally clean. It demeans a champion performer and the game to even bring it up. I would hate to face him. He is like Wasim Akram. For me, he is a right-hand version of Wasim Akram, and every time I am asked the question, who is the best bowler you have ever faced? I say Wasim Akram.
Maybe the Australian media should just focus on what's expected from the Boxing Day test. Australia have a set of worries of their own, much like India. Will the debutant, Sam Constas, be able to beat the MCG jitters and face someone like Bumrah? How will the Aussie bowling attack look without the experienced Josh Hazlewood, who's out with injury? Will Boland step up here? Will someone apart from Travis Head give India more headaches, stand up and strike 100? So maybe cleaning some of that lens and refocusing on priorities is what some of the Aussie media needs to do. It's a big test coming up.